All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome to the Gym of All Trades Sunday Night Charts. Glad you're here. We're going to jump into the TA tonight, guys. We're going to look at the charts, Bitcoin and Ethereum. ETHEREREUM, I just noticed my title. That's funny. ETHEREREUM. It looks like they're about to maybe take a little tumble here, setting up for a down move. But we'll look at that possibility. There's been a lot of shenanigans lately, so we're going to talk about the charts, guys. We're going to talk about where we think price is going. So hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, the down move I'm talking about, just so you know, it's just probably a temporary one. Because what I'm seeing in the charts, guys, is going to be, I think, potentially very, very choppy over the next. We'll see. We'll talk about it, but over the next good while, we could be just in very, very choppy price action. So, well, welcome to the channel. I am Jim. I'll be your host tonight. And I'm an Elliott wave trader. What that means is I trade with fives and threes. We look at the market for fives and threes. We put them together with known structures that Mr. Elliott came up with in the early 1900s. And then we project where price might be going using Fibonacci's and wave structure. And that's what we study. It's not all we do, but that's what I focus in on in the charts. So if you're brand new to the channel, I welcome you. I'm going to do my best to go slow tonight and walk you through my thoughts. Not feeling very well tonight, guys. Just in general, just an overall spiritual kind of downer right now. So I'm not as bright as I normally have been. So sorry about that. I'll try to conjure up as much energy as I can, and I may not be able to go as long as I normally do. So I'm going to try to get the TA to you as clear and precise and as qualitatively as I can, and show you the potentials of the chart. So I want to just say hi to everybody that's coming in. I see Virginia, always such a loyal watcher. Really appreciate you, Virginia. Hey, there's Beaver Batcat Rat. I love that name. You win the prize. You win the prize tonight for the best name, best YouTube name. I love it. Beaver Batcat Rat. You're up there. I mean, I don't think you've reached the level as D Shizzle, but I think D Shizzle still wins. I'm not going to say the rest of his name, mildly offensive to many, but it certainly is funny. So what's up? And there's hope you guys are doing well. Would you forgive me if I don't say hello to every one of you individually? And I just jump into the TA here, guys. But I do want to say hello. And I'm so glad you're here. Hit that like button for me. And share the videos if you like what you're watching. Appreciate it. So, but yeah. Hey, Hugo. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Shall we jump in? I'll pray for wisdom from the Lord, that he might grant me eyes to see and understand what this market is doing. I prayed for you today. I prayed for you guys. I prayed that those listening to my technical analysis would be at least encouraged and supported, and that my eyes would be able to see exactly what this market is doing, that you guys would be protected from shenanigans of the market makers who seek to take your money. So my desire is that you do well. So anyway, you made it from the start. Nice job, perspective changer. Good deal. All right, let's jump into the TA. What we're going to do tonight is I'm going to show you how to build. I don't know. I don't know if I have the energy to do it actually now that I'm thinking about it, but I was gonna walk you through building an Elliott wave. An Elliott wave count, but I think what we'll do is I'll just show you some ideas here, and we'll get into it. Guys, pray for me as well. I just really need the energy tonight. and the emotional stamina to be able to make it through tonight. Kind of down and out. So let's put that behind us and keep rocking here. All right, we're on the 4-hour chart, guys, and I'll just show you very quickly that we got a signal in the RSI that happened just prior to the video starting. That we have a break in the structure. We've got a break in the structure of the RSI. So I'll tell you one of my tricks if you want to know. This is a secret, not really a secret, but it's a secret I use. The RSI is a momentum indicator. It indicates momentum of buyers and sellers. Okay, that buyers and sellers swap. They swap. How do I say it? Take turns. That's the word I'm looking for. With buying and selling, and the RSI basically is the oscillator that kind of shows you that momentum. Okay, and when the RSI trends like it does, and it'll form trend lines in the RSI, just like price does. That will often give you a break of that trend line, retests of trend lines, things of that nature. You can do it with price. The same kinds of trend lines and counter trend lines that you use for price structure breaks. For instance, you see that price structure there. We see this price structure going up. Okay. You can see all these different price structures, and then there's a break of that price structure on this chart. And it lets you know when there's a price move. And so we had an up move here. We had a break of that price structure, and we retested it right there. Okay, and so just like in price, you can get breaks of structure that kind of lets you know when you're heading down. Of course, this one reversed back up on you, but you had a break. Okay, retest and continuation. Okay, well, you got a nice little trend right here, and we've had a break. We've had a break of that structure right there, okay? Well, the RSI does the same thing, okay? And we've had a break of that structure. And the break of the RSI structure, guys, tends to be a little bit more forthtelling. It tends to be a little bit more predictive. In fact, you'll often get a break of the price structure, of the RSI structure, before you'll get a break of price structure. It'll actually tell the future just a little bit. Well, anyway, you've got price and RSI that is broken now. So that's important, and we've broken it with an engulfing candle. Now, on the smaller time frames, everything's oversold. There's still some hidden bullish divergence that has to be wiped out. But pretty much this is an engulfing candle that's engulfed. I can see about six 4-hour candles. And so this has broken the structure. Momentum has changed. Momentum has moved back to the bears. Okay, so my title rightfully says Bitcoin and Ethereum setting up for another down move. In other words, in the short term, guys, I think down is going to be the direction. We had a pump overnight, over the weekend, I should say, and now we're going to have a deeper move than what you just got. This is just the beginning of that move, because price, when it moves, it can't just simply go straight down all the time. It has to move in waves. Okay, it has to move in waves. Price, that's the way price moves. Elliott wave catches the flavor and the movement of those waves, so that you can actually predict the nature of the next wave and when that wave might come. And so that's what we study. That's why we study wave structures and Elliott wave, because studying wave structure allows you to really dig into what the wave is doing and its personality, and what that wave is telling you about buyers and sellers in that moment. Whether the kind of buying that you're getting in this move that we just got up was impulsive and taking you up, right? Or whether the kind of buying was just a reaction to the impulses that were down that we had prior to it. In other words, was the buying action that we just received, okay, was the buying action that we just had over the weekend Is that the kind of buying action you expect from a strong market that's ready to push the market higher? Indicative of what we call an Elliott wave, an impulse wave? Or is it more indicative of what we call a corrective wave, or simply a rebound wave, or what some people might call a dead cat bounce, or something like that, where the price has generally had a powerful movement to the downside, but the bulls come back in and they have some momentum to them, but they're pumping price in such a way that it's more corrective rather than impulsive. And can you distinguish between the character of that kind of price movement? Okay, whether it is corrective or impulsive. And the answer is yes, you can. That's what Elliott wave is about. It's about determining the differences between whether you have a corrective wave or an impulsive wave. Okay, if we can identify those characteristics of impulses and corrections, you will know the direction of the market and you'll be able to trade with the trend. Okay, rather than always trying to guess where price is going, rather than bending to the waves and being carried and tossed to and fro by every little wave that comes. Okay, and so our job then as technicians here, Ellioticians, or ones who look at the market through an Elliott wave lens, we're trying to spend our time identifying the nature of the current wave that we're dealing with so we can know the next move. Okay, so hopefully that's helping you understand a little bit about 5s and 3s, because impulses, okay, price where momentum is going in a particular direction, where the market is moving price in a certain direction, in an impulse, an emotive wave, what we call, in an emotional push, okay, bullish or bearish, that happens in 5 waves. Whereas corrective waves that are just a response, the response by a smaller number of people, a smaller sentiment, where price is moving one direction, but the smaller number of people come in together at the same time at key locations on the market and push back on price a little bit with a corrective wave. And so the question is, what is the current wave that we are in, and what is the wave that we just got out of? And if we can identify what kind of waves that we were just in, and what kind of wave that we are now in, we can have a general sense based on that wave structure and the intensity and the character of those wave shapes. We can have a sense for where price is going. And this is the essence of Elliott wave theory. This is the essence of trying to understand the market through reading people's and the market's emotions and the sentiment of the market through the wave structure itself. Now, there are times in the market where the wave structure or the structure of the wave is unclear, and that's where Elliott wave theory becomes limited in its ability to help you. Okay? Or at least applying Elliott wave theory becomes more risky and difficult. And we as Elliott wave traders, what we do, guys, I got to take my belt off. My belt's killing me right now. There we go. What we have to do is, sorry about this, guys. There we go. So I lean back. There we go. Got it. It's cutting off my breathing. I'm I'm overweight, guys. I gotta lose some weight. So, what was I saying? Oh, when the chart is unclear, we have to be honest with ourselves that, hey, the chart's unclear. And and what we need to do is just identify that this is the time in the market where we either sit aside or look for smaller time frames and play smaller time frame waves until the larger time frame moves develop. Now, on the 4-hour, we just got a 4-hour signal to the downside. Okay, so and I'm letting you know that we just got a 4-hour signal. That 4-hour signal was based upon the RSI breaking of the structure. We've also had a break of price structure as well. So anyway, I'm doing my best here because I've got a lot of new people finding the channel. And I think a lot of people are curious about what Elliott wave theory is. And I think a lot of people that poo-poo Elliott wave, okay? I think a lot of people that disparage Elliott wave theory don't understand it. They don't understand what we're actually doing. And I think there are a lot of people who try to count waves, right, that really don't understand Elliott wave theory, because Elliott wave theory really isn't about getting the wave count correct. Okay? It's really not. It's more about discerning the character of the wave. And part of discerning that character is indeed counting waves. But that's not all there is to it. There's so much more. Okay? So much more to it. So I hope that was a helpful introduction to you guys. That was really, really important what I just said in your understanding. If you found that important and helpful in your understanding, let me know in the comments. That'd be great. I need to be encouraged a little bit tonight because, again, I'm just kind of, here we go. Down. All right, so that kind of leads us into what we're doing here tonight. I want to take time on all the different time frames, okay? All the different time frames. And I want to look at the macro and the micro and just begin discerning the wave structure so we can get a general sense for where price is going in the long term, and then move down to the more moderate and small time frames so that we can get a general sense, well, where's price going tomorrow? Where's price going this next week? Is there anything in the chart that kind of lends us a helping hand in understanding where price might be headed? Because if we understand where price is headed, then we can trade with the trend and stop trying to trade against the trend all the time. Stop trying to trade what we feel. Stop trying to trade different little patterns we see in the chart that are really meaningless. Finding heads and shoulders all over the place that aren't really there, or finding cup and handles that aren't really there, or rising wedges, or these little chart patterns that may or may not play out. If we can understand wave structure and what that wave structure is telling us, whether this is impulsive wave structure. This is the kind of wave structure we expect from when the market is impulsive and moving in a particular direction, or is this the type of wave structure that we expect when the market is correcting and actually in a just a pullback, so to speak, or a corrective wave? That's really how we divide the chart up, guys. Really, it's just impulses and corrections. Impulses and corrections. 5 waves and 3 waves. Now there are other categories. Okay, there are triangles and there are leading diagonals and ending diagonals and things of that nature. And there are complex corrections that get difficult and whatever. But the point here is that's what our analysis looks like. Okay, that's what our analysis looks like. Give me 1 second, guys. I need to do one thing. Just give me 1 minute. Four of them. Okay. All right. So what we need to do now is let's just back up. I'm not sure. Can Leopold, if you would is that a question or a statement? That's the first thing I need to see. And I need you to reword your question if you could, so I can address it. All right, let's start out with the macro, guys, and we're going to look at the nature of corrections and the nature of impulses. Okay, now obviously on the daily chart, in fact, let me go to a different chart here. Let me go to a different daily here. It wasn't a Molly, it was just ibuprofen, guys. Well, okay, quick question. How do you know? How do you know what time frame to use? Okay, that's a good question. On the RSI, that'll help you, Leo. Leopold, if I could call you Leo, that'd be great. On the RSI, what you'll notice is that on different time frames, you have the different looks. Okay, so we have a downward wave right here that's associated with this RSI movement right here. Okay, now if we look at the same wave on maybe the 6-hour chart, for instance, you can see that it takes up much more room and it's much more choppy, and it doesn't really give you any sense of any kind of trend, right? But if you would consolidate that and go back to the daily time frame, what you'll notice is that a trend forms, a wave forms, okay, right before your eyes. That this actually becomes a trend on the RSI. And what you want to do is look for the RSI time frame that creates the trend of the RSI that's tight and easily seeable. Yeah, we use the RSI. We use the RSI as confirmation of our Elliott wave, and there's a lot to teach there. Okay, and that's all I can say about that. So yeah, we Elliotticians, we use fibs and the RSI very strongly. Two very important tools for us. Okay. Anyway, what you'll see is that the RSI is tightened up into a trend. We're in a daily trend in the RSI. It's clear and plain. Now, what you'll notice in the daily, if I just magnify the daily trend here, do a little analysis of the RSI, because this is a big portion of our trying to come up with what I'm trying to say, of our analysis. Let me go to the 2-day chart. And you'll see that trend tighten up even more and become even more clear. And you'll notice that we're testing the trend right now. We tested the trend with this up move over the weekend. We tested it on the 2-day chart. And now it's beginning to roll over now. It's beginning to kind of fall again. Now, if you'll notice, the last time it hit right here, our trend line, and it started to roll over, you'll notice that's congruent with right here, this rollover right there. That blue line on my RSI is the moving average. It is it's an MA. You have to have the version of Telegram, not Telegram, but TradingView that allows you to put indicators on top of indicators. Okay. So anyway, just for what it's worth. So hopefully that helps you. What you'll notice is that in this last trend, for instance, on the daily, this is the 2-day. If I go to the daily chart, this last trend here, we can draw that RSI line, okay? And the moment we got the break to the upside and the break of the moving average, it happened right here in this candle. It gets you into the trend pretty early in the wave, so that as this wave then goes up, it creates a new trend line. Okay? Creates a new trend line. And then it will break the trend line to the downside, and that lets you know there's a break of structure. We love to see a break of we love to see it overbought, a break, and we love to see the retest with divergence. That's a beautiful signal for us. I mean, that's okay. So it's a beautiful thing, and that's some of the signals we watch for shorts. That's how we nail shorts and hit these shorts a lot, because we look for the signs in the RSI that let us know. We like to trade RSI breaks. Okay? We like to trade retests of the RSI after it's broken, a retest to the upside when it gives us divergence. And when we get confirmation of the smaller time frames, we've broken back the other way. So these are things we like to do in our trading group. I'm letting you know a little bit in on some of our trading styles as we use the RSI in conjunction with Elliott wave analysis. Hope that helps you. I had a question about how accurate is Elliott wave theory. That's not the point necessarily. Elliott wave theory, if you can get the waves right, if your analysis is good, if you are good in sticking to rules, if you're good with seeing patterns and pictures in the market, if you're good at it, then yeah, Elliott wave is excellent. But it depends really on the ability of the Elliott wave interpreter. That's why you don't just go to any channel, where the guy doesn't really know what he's doing. He's talking about Elliott wave theory, but and you got to know the rules of Elliott wave. But there are a lot of guys out there that talk about Elliott wave theory, but they don't understand it. They don't understand the details of what the market's doing through Elliott wave theory. Okay, Alessio Rastani is an example of that. He's a guy who understands maybe some basics of Elliott wave theory, that there's waves of impulse, waves of 5s and 3s, but he doesn't really understand the deep nuances of the theory in application. He's a great guy. I like his channel. I like his stuff, but he's just an example. You just don't want to go to him for Elliott wave theory. You just don't want to. Okay. There's plenty of other channels out there where the guys are good, but not everybody who talks about Elliott wave theory understands how to properly apply it to the market. What we do a multiplicity of things in our Discord to keep things moving. Okay. Hopefully that stuff was helpful to you a little bit, letting you a little bit. If you want to learn more of that stuff, that's just a taste of what you just saw. It's just a taste of my Discord tutorials and classes that are available for you to take. You could, it's $40 a month to be part of the Discord, guys. If you want to be a part of it, there's a link in the description to my Patreon channel. You just go to the Patreon there, become a Patreon supporter. I'll get an email tonight when you become a Patreon supporter. Let me know what tier you signed up for, and I'll send you a welcome email with a link to the Discord. Okay, but keep in mind, if you do it between now and the Discord ending, I won't get to it until after the Discord. I'll get right to it as soon as the Discord. as soon as the YouTube live is over. Okay, and what that'll get you, it'll get you into the Discord and access to all the training materials that I've developed. It'll also get you access to another community of people who are studying the same thing you are, and you can bounce your ideas off over 250 traders from all around the world, from Australia to China to Belgium to Holland to Ireland to the United States to Colombia, Mexico, just everywhere. Just all over the place. And then you'll have access to the 2 live streams that I do every day. I do a live stream in the morning, a morning update, and we go over the wave structure, what we're looking at, how to trade it, psychology, and then we do an evening update as well. I do it at 9 o'clock in the morning and 5 p.m. in the evening. And that's what we do. And that's what you'll get in the Discord. If you join Tier 2, you'll get access to trade setups and my entries and exits as I'm trading, and more one-on-one help there. And then I have a mentorship as well. But anyway, all right. Hopefully that's helpful to you guys. Market is really kind of tanking right now, so that's good. Let me just do a little bit of some micro analysis here on this wave. I want to see how close it is to finishing, where it might be finishing here. What are the? We're pretty oversold here, guys. Pretty oversold and developing some divergence here. So chances are it's going to be a bit more down here, maybe. But it's looking like it wants to pull back for a deeper pullback wave. Looks like it wants to come back for a deeper wave, a pullback. To reset the RSI, let the RSI cool off a little bit on the 5-minute in particular, and then head on down some more. I would say at this point, if you get a 3-wave pullback with hidden bearish divergence on the 5-minute chart, might be a good entry short, potentially. Not trading advice and not financial advice there, just ideas there. Just an idea. But we're going to talk about this wave structure here, because this may be about finished. I'll show you what I'm seeing here in this small time frame, but you got to hang in there, guys. You got to hang in there, okay? Yeah, you can pay for a year in advance if you want. With crypto, that'd be fine. There's several people that do that, and you can. I don't give a discount. I don't give a discount for the year in advance on the tier 1, but I do give a discount on the year in advance of tier 2. Okay, so just shoot me an email at jimofalltrades7. Put that in there for me, Chemo, if you would. jimofalltrades7@gmail.com. If you want to pay with crypto for a year in advance, that'd be just fine. Really not here, guys, to sell my Discord. I do make it available. People are intrigued by Elliott wave theory, and I do want to let you know that you can get more information like this on a regular basis. That I'm not one of those YouTubers that makes a video every day. I tried to make more this past week. I hope you guys saw that, but I'm so busy taking care of the Discord that I often don't have the energy or the emotional stamina to be able to put out YouTube videos every day that are helpful for you guys. But I'm really trying, and I'm well aware that a lot of you guys are really working hard on this. All right. Anyway, I hope that intro, guys, that I spent 30 minutes talking about it. And I'm sorry, not sorry, I guess, but hopefully that's helpful with you to just begin understanding that how to read the market, how to read charts, and understand that, yeah, I've got a title that says ETHEREREUM is setting up for more downside, and that's exactly what we're getting, guys. I mean, and the very first comment I had in the chart is, "You're always bearish," and I'm like, well, man, I guess when you catch me, I'm bearish, but we've been in a bearish trend since back in how long ago did it start? How many weeks ago did this bearish trend begin? Right here, since October, when I started seeing this divergence here, I started to get bearish. When I started to see it get oversold and with divergence there, and I started counting 5 waves here, looking finished, I started to get bearish. Yeah, absolutely. And sure enough, anybody who sold when I started to get bearish up here was doing pretty well. When we got this move down here, I was rightfully bearish until it reversed on us. Then I got bullish for this wave and we traded that wave to the upside, and I was bullish for that wave until it was time to be bearish. I was down here. I was very moon boyish down here, guys. I was moon boy down here. I was like, guys, we're going to the moon. We're going up big. And I felt like one of the only guys around saying that. But I was moon boy down here. If you didn't catch me, I'm sorry you didn't catch me in that time. But so yeah, it's time to be bearish, guys. This is a bearish wave. Do you think this bearish wave is done? Do you believe that this pullback, guys? Do y'all believe that pullback is it? That there's that pullback. Now we're going to the moon. That we just got this pullback. This is it. We're done. We're going to the moon now. How many times have we ever had a wave that hits a low? Okay, that hits a low point and reacts, does not get retested. That bottom doesn't get retested again. How many times does that happen? Very rarely. Okay, very rarely. Could that be this time? Yeah, but just looking at this chart, guys, just taking a peek at the chart, just look. If this is a reversal, that's fine. We're waiting for 3 waves to finish. When we get 3 waves finished, then we're going to go to the moon. Fine. We'll go big. We'll trade this wave bullishly. It'll be time to go bullish when it's time to go bullish. But right now, we're looking for a three-wave move to the downside. Boom, boom, boom. And once this finishes, then we're looking for a bullish wave. And that's the way I'm looking at the market right now. Brad, I'm with you. I mean, I think they have a right to feel that way. I think they should feel that way. But I'm just speaking to the fact that somebody, and it's wrong to, just because it's not necessarily smart either, just because the market's going down, just to take an opposite view. Oh, it's going down, so we're going up. To have a contrarian view. No, we have a contrarian view when the signals on the chart show up that, hey, we need to start being bullish again. But from my perspective, the signals on the chart have not shown up. So, and I'm just also responding to the guy, the very first comment. Oh, the reason I'm here is because you're bullish all the time. I mean, you're bearish all the time. I don't know what to say except that we're in a bearish trend right now. All right. So the question remains then, is there anything we can watch for and anything we can pay attention to that we can know when this bearish trend is going to end? Yeah, I've given you one signal here. Watch the RSI on the daily. It has not broken yet. I know somebody said it had broken. I disagree. It's not a good break yet. I don't see the break I'm looking for. In fact, we've come to the line and we've turned down. We've turned down on the 2-day and the 1-day. We've got a downward move here. So it's come near the trend line and it's moving to the downward side. Chances are we go and make another low on the daily. That could bring us down deeper. Okay? Now, I'm going to do some micro analysis. You guys are going to have to be patient to get there, okay? All right, let's just talk about what this structure is, okay? Because we talked about the beginning of our live stream about what Elliott wave does. We seek to identify the nature of a wave, whether it's a 5-wave impulse or a 3-wave correction, okay? And the corrections, it can be challenging, guys, because inside of corrections there are impulse waves, okay? Like, in fact, an ABC correction will have 2 impulse waves within it, but it will form an overall structure that is a bearish structure or a bullish structure. It'll form not bearish or bullish. I'm sorry about that. A corrective structure. It'll be a structure, a combination of those 5s and 3s that we see during corrective waves that are just simply pullbacks that will be followed by continuation of the trend. Okay? So, hey, Crypto Fitter and Endy Money, what's up, guys? Good to see y'all. So anyway, we're going to ask the question now on this 3-day chart here. What is going on up here? What kind of structures are we seeing? Well, first off, let's see if there's any clues. Okay? First off, this obviously is we can be very clear about this, that's an impulse wave. There's no doubt about it that wave has the character of an impulse wave. Okay. Now, when you get a wave contrary to that impulse wave, that is a corrective wave right there. Okay? That's a corrective wave. We're certain, without doubt, that this wave was a corrective wave. It was correcting, pulling back from this bullish price action. It was correcting it and getting ready for price continuation. Now the question is this current price action, bullish? Is it emotive? Is it impulsive? Does it look like it's creating an impulse to the upside? Or is it still part of a larger corrective structure? That what we're getting is wave structure that is overarchingly corrective in nature and is taking a long time to develop because this is a much higher time frame correction. It's a much more macro correction that takes a long time. If you think micro corrections take a long time when they take all day for the market to go sideways and choppy and up and down and come around, what do you think about a macro correction? They take weeks and months to play out. Right? Here we have a macro correction. What is it correcting? It's correcting this impulse wave. Let's just take a peek at the nature of this wave here. We got a 1, a 2, 3, a 4, and a 5. We've got an impulse wave that's moving impulsively. The market is saying, I want to go with power and emotion. That's what we call an impulse wave. And it's moving in an impulse wave. And there's 5 waves there. Now, within that 5 waves, you'll be able to count sub-waves of each of those waves. Nevertheless, we've got 5 waves. That's a beautiful impulse wave. Then what you got after that was what we call a 3-wave correction. Okay, it was a corrective wave that was a response to the impulse. Doing a lot of teaching tonight, guys. Hope you're in the mood for it. If you just want me to deliver my ideas, that's not tonight. And what you'll notice is what we had a 3-wave move to start. Now that 3-wave move took quite a while. Guys, just look here. These are impulse waves right here. These are impulse waves to the upside. And the waves that we're getting to the downside, they're corrective waves. They're correcting these impulses. But the question is, I just want you to look at it now. Just look at the chart. Whenever we had right here a corrective wave, it began with 3 waves at the beginning of it. 3 waves. Boom, boom, boom. Let me zoom in on that just a little bit for you so you can kind of see it. I want you to see it. I'm going to go to the 2-day chart, see if that's a little bit more helpful. Yeah, that's not bad. Actually, maybe the daily. Daily's beautiful. Let's look at this corrective wave. I want you to see the 3-wave nature of corrections. Okay, I want you to see. When you look at wave structure, off this bullish impulse move, you got an impulse down, a move back up, and another impulse down. And that's all you got. You got 3 waves, and that was it. So you got boom, boom, boom. 3 waves, done. Then you got 3 waves to the upside. 3 waves. You see the 3 waves? It's so super clear. Let me highlight them for you. 1, 2, 3. We got 3 waves. Then we got this kind of a 5-wave move. Much bigger. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Much more like a 5-wave move. And when you put all of that together, let me see if I can make it bigger there. When you put all of that together, you've got basically an ABC. A, B, C. Or a WXY, depending on. So what happened after that? Okay, we got our ABC correction. We're ready to go to the moon, right? And look what happened. Look what the market did. We got a really fast impulse wave to the upside over a period of about 3 days. It fizzled out and then started correcting, and it corrected in 3. And then boom, it started going in a period of about 10 days or so, and it went up really high. Oh, we're going to the moon. We got a 3-wave correction. Now we're just going to keep on going to the moon. That's what everybody believes, right? No, you have to understand. You have to understand that the market corrects in 3s, that this first 3-wave move was just the beginning of sorrows. Just the beginning. Yeah, that correction took from June 25th to July. It took a month for all that to happen. But what happened afterwards? Just another 3 waves. Now we have a larger structure where we put it together, and all of those go together as an ABC. And we got another ABC to the upside. Okay? Now, if you want me to blow your mind a little bit more, what you have to understand is that those waves will have relationships. Relationships as far as Fibonacci's are concerned. When we pull the fibs on this move, what you'll notice is that this came to the 1-to-1 extension. That the C wave was exactly 100% the length of wave A. And that is often an area that we look for reversals. We were ready for a potential reversal at that level, at that point. On a smaller time frame scale, I could show you the RSI and how that broke the RSI to the upside around that fib. When we see a break of the RSI around Fibonacci's, that's important to us. That's what we pay attention to. So we had an ABC that came down to a 1-to-1 extension. Boom, boom, boom. That is a corrective structure. It's corrective. It's going opposite the trend in 3 waves. But the next wave, even though it felt like it is an impulse, we had a break of the structure at a key Fibonacci level. This was the 1618. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember trading it. I remember what I was telling people and what to watch out for. If this is going to get impulsive, it's going to keep on going. But look, this one came right here, almost to the 1618. Didn't quite make it. Stopped at the 1414 and had a rejection and came on down. And we shorted that sucker. Now, what happened to follow? We got another 3 waves. A little harder to spot, but A, B, C right there. Then we got this flat, a 3, 3, 5 right there. Another 3 waves. You see how the market's just moving in 3s over and over and over again? This is a complex combination correction. And what you'll see is that this actually formed what we call a W, X, and a Y wave. We had a WXY right here. 3 waves. Or it could be an ABC. Just depends on how you look at it. A, B, C. We had an ABC here. But notice all of them are 3-wave structures. And when we put all that together, then what we have is a large W, X, Y correction. And that's how we categorize it and put those 5s and 3s together so we understand. So that's just an example of what we do as Elliott traders. So we're looking to take that same skill set, guys. We're looking to take those same tools and principles and what we know of wave structure. And we're looking at a current wave as it's being formed without any data to follow. We don't have a finished picture. It's kind of like a person putting a piece of a puzzle one at a time until the puzzle begins to take shape, and then all of a sudden you begin to see the larger picture even before the puzzle's finished. And if you can get the larger picture before the puzzle's finished, then you have a predictive wave strategy to trade. And that's what we do. So we come every week here at Sunday Night Charts. We do it every day. And we're looking at this chart and we're watching it as it's being made, as it's being formed, as the market is showing itself wave by wave, candle by candle. adding information to it. We're starting and we're trying to get a sense of what the picture is of the puzzle before the puzzle is completely formed, so that we can come up with a predictive strategy for how we're going to trade it. It is certainly important to note that we have a trend here on the daily and on the 2-day. With this trend that we have on the daily and 2-day, RSI is continuing to trend down. It has not shown signs of breaking yet, although it's starting to. It started to kind of give us the sense of maybe it's breaking to the upside. What does that tell us? When the trend in the RSI begins to break, that's letting us know this wave is about finished. So we can kind of say, okay, we have a finished wave on our hands. And so we can look at that as a finished structure and try to predict what the next structure is going to be. So this daily trend doesn't appear finished, but it's close. It's at least trying. It's knocking on the door as a potential. It is oversold almost, not quite, but almost. It's in the lower portion. We're knocking on the door to oversold. We're knocking on the door to breaking the structure. We have what we call hidden bullish divergence, but it has lost its steam. It's lost its mojo with this wick to the downside. The daily divergence, while it's there, technically it's not there with any kind of rigorous impact to my psychology that says, oh yeah, look at that divergence, we need to definitely trade it. I don't think so. In fact, it's the kind of divergence that I've seen over and over and over that gets taken out. All right. So the question becomes, we know that this is a corrective wave. We know it. Why? Because we had an impulse and the next wave was a corrective wave. Now, here's what we don't know. What is this? Okay? Is this impulse? Is it correction? Well, it remains to be seen, but it certainly looks a lot more corrective now. Okay? So the way I'm looking at the overall structure is that we have, I believe, an A, a B, and a C wave right there. It came to the 1618 extension of those. That is not 5 waves to me. That is 3 waves to me, as I interpret that. And it came to the 1618. Now, the next wave that forms is a little tricky. It's quite tricky in a lot of ways. But I've got a count here that says that's 1, that's 2, this is 3, this is 4, and that's 5. Right here to this point right here. Now, what's interesting about that count is I have 5 waves following a correction. Okay? I also have divergence between those waves. Okay? Right there to there, between wave 3 and wave 5. A possibility here is that this 5-wave move was actually the end, the last wave of this impulse. That we got a 4th wave pullback, okay? And then we got a 5th wave hit to the high with divergence. And this wave is done. It's complete. That we're not going up right now. We have begun. We have just begun. This is the first wave of the real correction of the entire wave. In other words, this wave here finished right here. Whatever wave it is, it finished here. Because this was a 5-wave ending wave. So this was the end. This isn't part of a larger, this is just one idea, guys. that this isn't part of a larger correction, which that's another idea I have, and I'll share that with you shortly, but I'm sharing this idea first. That this was the end, and this is actually the beginning of a much longer term correction. That this is simply the first wave of that. That what we should expect, very much like the top of this wave right here, we should be expecting, we got our first 3-wave move. It may be complete right now. It may be complete. We may be getting the second wave of, this is actually already rebounded. We're getting the second wave to the downside, and we're looking for the third wave to the upside. Okay, right here. See this wave right there? This wave would be similar, to this first wave. And now this wave that we're currently in is similar to the second wave that I have circled. Let me see if I can undo the circles. That we're looking for a 3-wave move back to the upside, which will be followed by another move to the downside. And that could simply be the beginning of sorrows. That could be the end of sorrows. That could be the end. Just, it depends on what the overall wave count that we're in, what the overall wave count is. This might simply be a larger correction. That this was like a 1, we could label this 1 and 2, and we could put the end of wave 3 right here at the top of that 5-wave move, and now we're getting a 3-wave move to the downside back to the fourth wave range of the previous degree, and this is wave 4. And then we might be getting a wave 5, and that's when we go to the moon. We shoot parabolically up to the moon. We get up to 150K, no problem. 200K, no problem. So this correction that I'm looking at could take us in to the middle of next year, all the way to July or something. Now you're going to have rises and you're going to have falls. You're going to have up waves and down waves. Some waves that seem really, really bullish and everybody gets excited. Like over here, we had a really exciting wave to the upside, and then it was followed by just a crashing wave to the downside. We had a nice move back up to the upside. Then we had the COVID dump to the downside. I mean, you're going to get ups and you're going to get downs and ups and downs, and we're probably going to come back and retest 28 to 30K eventually. But we're not going to go straight there. We're going to go there in a very corrective way that seems to take forever in this range. See how this ranged in this price area? See how this correction right here just ranged sideways in this price zone, up and down, up and down, up and down. Doesn't mean we can't trade it, guys. It just means that we're going to stay in a range, and probably we've already got the range set, and we're going to be staying in this range, probably even right here, for a while until it's ready to finish and go down and make that final capitulation move, retest this low, maybe even break it, maybe test 20K just for kicks, just to shake everybody out, and then we get our 5th wave to the upside that gets huge and big, and that's when we go to the moon. Can I just take this time for a commercial break and invite you to tap or click gently or smash, if you prefer, the like button? That'd be awesome. I really appreciate it. 130 of you here. It's always nice to see people over 100. That's really great, guys. I'm knocking on the door to 10,000 subscribers. That's kind of neat. I'm a nobody in this world, but it's always neat to have goals, and I'm knocking on the door to potential 10,000 subscribers. If you're not subscribed, would you help me on that journey? That'd be really, really cool. It'd be really neat. Share the video if you like what you're learning in this video. Share it with your friends and your trading groups and what are your buddies and people. You let them know you got a channel where the guy's willing to teach you and spend time trying to help you understand. So thank you. Okay. The like button destroyed. Thanks, Seth. I love you, buddy. Federico from Argentina, are you able to comprehend what you're learning? Have you understood? Is it making sense to you? Do you like what you're hearing? I'd love to hear your response. Taking a little break right now with my voice. So we've done some macro analysis here, and I'm here just saying, guys, this right here, just the beginning of sorrows. But there's a good chance it's done. And now we're in the middle of a wave. Let me show you what kind of wave we're in, very likely. You see this wave right here, where we had an initial pullback, or we had a corrective wave that finished. And then we had a big wave that kind of came up. And then it started coming back down again to retest the bottom. That's the kind of wave I think we're in right now. And then I'm expecting something like this to happen next. A big move to the upside. So let's go down to the smaller time frame. And I'll show you an idea. Now what I'm about to share with you is I'm going to draw on the chart here an idea. Based on Elliott wave structures we've seen in the past, based on Elliott wave structures we know, absolutely, high desert garden. That's a count I've been presenting since October. Absolutely, buddy. Great question, and good to see you, man. It's a former Telegram group. When I was in my Telegram, there's a former guy in my Telegram group. Good to see you, buddy. How your gardens doing? Chemo, you're right. I'm sharing a bunch of secrets in this video. I don't have that many people watching, so it's not that bad. So. El Gato, you need to go to the corner and put the dunce cap on because you're late for class. I'll have to look. Usman, about the RFI profiles. I mean, the charts don't have to match exactly. Just giving you an idea. Okay. All right, put a circle on the chalkboard and put your nose in it, please, El Gato. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to go down to a 6-hour chart. I'm personally looking for, we got a reactive wave here. We got a 3-wave pullback right there. I believe this was also a 3-wave pullback here. So we got a 3, then we got a 3. I'm looking for this to become a 3 or a 5. One of the two. But I'm basically looking for this to be without any kind of real label, a 3-wave move. That will likely be followed by, if it comes down very deep, a 5-wave impulse to the upside, which can be measured and predicted to come to, maybe 57 to 58K, all the way up to 60K. So we'd be coming down. And this could come down in 3 waves or 5 waves, depending on how it comes down. It's going to come down choppy. So we may get a wave, we may get a pullback, and then another wave. Retesting the lows. And then we were looking for another wave up. Now, when we zoom out a little bit, what you'll notice is that becomes the second 3-wave move. That we got an initial 3-wave move. Then we got a second 3-wave move. Just an idea. I'll share other ideas as we go along. But this is an idea that I shared the other day in the video that said a chart no one is talking about. Now, that means we need some days for this to play out. This may take a lot longer than I have it drawn. I have it drawn very succinctly and very quickly over the next week or two. But it may play out a lot. This may take a lot, how do I say it? It may take a lot longer for this to play out. Come all the way over here. Very choppy and bad, right? May come all the way over here. And then very slowly go up. Based on the news that we're expecting this week, we're expecting the Fed to be giving us bearish news, guys. Bearish for the markets, bullish for the dollar. We're expecting the Fed to say, hey, yeah, we're going to clarify our tapering policy. We're going to continue tapering. We're doubling down on it. And we're going to even raise rates. And our schedule is going to look like this maybe. If they come out saying stuff like that in Wednesday's FOMC meeting, guys, the dollar is going to just spike. The dollar is going to go high to the moon. The dollar is going to go to the moon. And the strength of the dollar is going to then prompt the markets to go ahead and sell off into the strong dollar so that we preserve cash. We're in cash, so we got more buying power as the dollar is stronger. Who knows what happens after that? Maybe there's war, maybe there's a black swan event, or something that's very detrimental to the dollar. And then the people in those markets then take their money and they start putting it into other assets. Gold, silver, crypto, who knows? I don't know exactly how it's going to play out. But this week we expect the Fed to make some hawkish statements when it comes to the DXY, to the dollar. And if that's the case, the markets will probably coincide with a strong move to the downside. Now that might look like a very big move that takes crypto down to 32K, down to the crypto abyss. Could. Or it could simply be a slow and steady sell-off here in this range, right in here, till the end of the week or something, where we have maybe a rally and a rebound or something over the weekend or next week, Christmas rally or whatever you want to call it, end of the year stuff. And then it comes back down for a wave 2. But there we go. What happens? There's a 1 and a 2. And then all of a sudden we're looking for a 3, a 4, and a 5. And this happens the first part of the year. End of the year, first part of the year. Guys, I can't predict time. I'm not good at that. There are guys out there. A good friend of mine's channel, he doesn't post a lot anymore, but he deals with time. I can't help you on the time. It's not my strength. It's not my knowledge set. It's something I need to study for sure. But we're just talking about wave structure, structures of the waves that we would expect to see. If you just got here to the channel, you gotta catch the first, I don't know, guys, how long, what, I think this entire live stream has been pretty informative. It's slow, I know. I've been walking through this carefully, but it's been intentional tonight. A lot of times I'm talking fast, drawing lines on the chart, and I just get a lot of trolls who just don't know what they're talking about. So I've just been trying to take my time tonight and explain how an Elliott wave trader looks at these waves and understands the wave structures that he's seeing and puts it together so we can formulate a bias for where price might be going next. And I've given several of my secrets away in this video for free. So I think a rational and a plausible possibility for where price might go next, if I'm understanding these waves properly, is that we have a three-wave move here. This is an ugly three-wave move there. And now we're getting either a three-wave move or a five-wave move back down to retest these lows. And then I'm looking for another move to the upside. So there's a plausible idea. So the title of tonight's video is setting up for another down move. This is the down move I'm referring to. Right there. Is that bullish? I mean, is that bearish? I mean, in the immediate term, yeah, it's bearish. But in the long term, I'm calling for a big bullish move here as a potential wave structure that could happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm simply showing you a wave structure that's plausible based on what I see. If I filled out the picture, you know, that's a plausible idea. Oh, let me give you another plausible idea, guys. So the idea that I just gave you, the way that plays out on the daily chart. Now keep in mind, this is the daily chart. I'm about to give you the next 6 months worth of price action. Now, I'm not pretending to say this is going to happen exactly as I say it. I'm not pretending to do that at all. But I'm saying this is an idea of what we can see, what we can expect to see on the chart if what I just shared with you is correct. That we're looking at this as the first wave of sorrows. Okay? It will be followed by this second wave of sorrows. But it's better. It'll be better because this is a bullish wave. We get a rebound. We get a reprieve from all the bearishness, and we get some bullishness, and we get bullishness coming back into the market. But it's just a correction. It's not an impulse. It's not going to go to higher highs. It's not going to go to the moon this year. It's not going to go to 100K. It's just going to be a correction. It's going to make you feel like it's going to 100K because it's going to get to 60K, 59K, and 60K or something like that. And you're going to be like, oh yeah, everybody's going to be on board now. Everybody's going to be following the waves and just tossed to and fro by every wind and every wave that comes. And then they're going to be devastated when they see the third wave come. And they're going to be like, oh crap. And that's what gets us back down to 38K or something like that. And that's what we're going to call a WXY. But that's not all. That's not all. Because this thing may take much time, a lot of time. And so what this thing could do is give you another three-wave move to the upside like so. And let's just say, and I'm just going to take a little time out of it and give you another three-wave move to the downside, but this one's a lot bigger. And what this thing becomes is a very large WXY. And it takes us down to 30 to 28, 20K. No problem. But in the grand scheme of the market, that's not a big deal for Bitcoin. That's just a bear market. That's just a correction on the macro. That's just going to take the next year or two, or year and a half, or year to play out. That there's going to be uncertainty in the market with the current trend in the news, and there's going to be a lot of volatility up and down and up and down. It's going to range. It's going to stay in this range for a year, just driving you crazy, making you think it's going to the moon and then turning around, and making you think it's going to the abyss and then turning around, and making you think it's going to the moon again, and this is it, and then turning around again, and it's just up, and it's going to drive you bananas for the next year. It's a high likelihood. And all this is a fourth wave correction. It's wave 4. And what will follow will be the move everybody's waiting for, everybody's hoping for and wishing for. Because everybody will get in and start pumping this market. All the big boys will have their time over the next year to accumulate positions in this range, to accumulate down here at this range, and then spring the thing, and they're going to take it to 150 and 200K. And it'll be a bull run like you've been waiting for. It'll be the bull run you've been watching and waiting for. Why are you always bearish, Jim? Well, because if this is correct, this is a very plausible count. If that's correct, we're going to be in a bearish trend for the next year. It's going to be up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And that's all right by me. Because we Elliott wave traders, we simply just go with the flow. We trade with the trend. You need to learn how to trade with the trend? Come on and join us in the Gym of All Trades Discord. Love to have you. All right, there's an idea. Hope you like it. That's one idea. Let's look at another idea. I hate to get rid of that chart. I should be a movie announcer. You got to expound on that. What do you mean? I love trash. I heart trash. It's just an idea, Silver Noob. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. Now, let me clear this chart. Let's talk about another idea. I think this next one is on a lot of people's radar. And I think it's rather probably more unlikely than it is likely from my perspective. Okay. Oh, I've got a good voice. This summer, Jim is a movie announcer. Well, I am a preacher, so it's and a teacher, so I actually speak for a living, right? Well, I'm not a pastor. I'm not a pastor anymore. Well, I mean, I've got a pastor heart, but I'm not pastoring a church right now. If you know of a church out there that's wanting a good teacher, we're seeking the Lord's will and where we should be in the world. We're thinking Maryville, Missouri may not be the place for us. We were church planting here for about 10 years, and we just closed the doors last year. It's kind of hard to do that. It's a college town, but we feel like the Lord is moving us on, maybe. So we'll see where the Lord takes us. But anyway, yeah, that may be my voice. The voice that you're hearing. I don't know. I don't think I have a good voice, but thank you. Appreciate that. It's a boost to my spirit tonight. Encouragement. Thank you. Let's see. But here's an idea. And this is an idea I've been sharing for a while, but I'm just not a fan of this wave structure. But we could be looking at the A wave right here. That's A. And see, this looks more like 5 waves to me rather than 3 waves. In order to have this count, this has to be 3 waves. And so I'm gravitating to this less and less. There's a B wave. And we'd be looking for a C wave down. And that C wave would have to go down in 5 waves. And that's the problem I have with this count. That's the problem I have with this count. We got 3 waves to the downside. And that began. So I'm okay with 3 here. We'd have to count this as 3 waves to the upside. But my problem is I've got this wave down here. I got to do something with it. And it looks too much like a 1-2 to me. You say, Jim, it starts with 3 waves. Well, not technically. The way I'm counting it is I've got a 1 wave right here, and then I've got this expanded flat 2 right there. 3, 4, 5. Amen, Rev. Waiting for that day. So my problem here is that this is 5 waves and not 3. But if we throw that out the door and say, okay, I'm just going to suspend disbelief here and call this 3 waves, well, then we got a problem here because of what the wave structure is doing right here. We have a clear wave structure that's 3 to the downside. 3 waves to the downside here, and then 3 waves to the upside with an impulse wave that followed it. And that's what we call an expanded flat. And I think this expanded flat just got ultra expanded. That we have a clear 5 wave move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We got an extended 5th wave. I think we're probably finished with it. In fact, there's a high likelihood, guys, that we are finished with that expanded flat. High likelihood. But indeed, I'm calling that an expanded flat because that's the way it looks on the chart. That's what the wave structure is telling me. And so because the wave structure is saying that's an expanded flat, I have a very hard time suspending that disbelief of it and putting my C wave here at the top, because you're going to have a really hard time getting 5 waves out of that. A really hard time getting 5 waves. But let's just suspend our disbelief and say, okay, we got 5 waves, and let's go to the next problem. The next problem is I need 5 waves in C. So I've got a problem with this wave where I've got 5 waves and not 3 waves. I've got a problem with this wave, which this is looking like 3 waves off the top rather than 5 waves off the top, because this is an impulse, yes, but it looks like more of a C wave and an expanded flat. So I have to really throw out two problematic waves in order to get this count off the top. Now, I personally have been talking about this count for a while, but I'm believing it less and less, and I have a hard time seeing that as a running flat or a flat in any way, shape, or form because of the wave structures that I'm seeing. I'm much more theoretically, the market. Okay, this is a great question, Cam, and this is where the debate happens. Okay, let's talk about this. So Cam asked a question. Okay, does it matter whether it's 3 or 5? Okay, if the emotional effect is the theoretically. No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter because because this 3, 5, whatever, they're accomplishing something here. But if I'm going to try to get a picture of what's actually happening here and then paint the picture properly, what's not been painted by the market, but for me to predict and draw the lines properly where I would expect it to go, I need to really understand the nature of these waves so I can put them together properly with the rules that Elliott set forth, okay? Because those rules keep me balanced and consistent. Now, does the market play by rules? No, the market doesn't play by rules, but Elliott rules are based upon what he consistently saw over and over and over in the market. And so I do my very best to abide by those rules and to really pay attention to when the wave structure is telling me something. I have a very hard time letting it go. Guys, listen, I was a major bull down here. Major bull down here. And I kept telling my people, guys, I know this looks bearish. It looks like it's going to keep going down forever and ever and ever. And I know it looks like it's going to keep going down. And I kept telling everybody, I said, guys, y'all do whatever you have to do. Oh, sorry. I was just telling them, y'all do whatever you have to do. But as for me, I'm going to be bullish until I can't be bullish anymore. I'm going to hold on to my bullish sentiment until the wave structure tells me, Jim, you can't be bullish anymore. Okay? And so I have to be true to what I'm seeing in the wave structures. Okay, so I'm seeing this as 5, and I'm seeing this as 3. And I'm saying that more than likely this 5, the count that I just already shared with you, finished a structure, finished this bull run. And now we're in a deeper. But if I'm wrong, let's just simply suspend disbelief here and say this is an ABC. All right? And now we're looking for a larger running flat or an expanded flat ABC. Oh, you're welcome, 1099. What a compliment. Thank you. What a compliment. I really appreciate that. That made my night. Thank you. Now, if this is an ABC, we need 5 waves right here. And we need it to come to an extension we would expect it to. Okay? And we haven't hit an extension we would expect it. The minimum extension here is technically the 618, technically. But guys, I mean, I can't tell you how rare that is. 786 is much more likely. And the 1-to-1 is much more likely. Now, whether the one in this circumstance, whether the 127, which is a very likely target normally, whether it's likely in this circumstance or not, I can't say. But the C wave, if this is an ABC, which is another part of our structure that we're looking at as a potential, then we're looking for 5 waves here, and we have to ask the question, is the current wave structure that's being formed for us, is it painting the picture of 5 waves? And my answer is yes, but not big enough. Francis, there are micro waves. These are indeed designed to throw you off. There's no doubt about it. But there is no objective way to look at the market that is as consistent as Elliott is. I can just go back through the charts and show you 5s and 3s. The problem is people often don't look at the market unbiasedly, and they often are trying to make the waves fit their preconceived notions. What I desperately try to do is to be as neutral as possible. And I'm not always good at it. I'm a lot better at it. This last year, I would say I've had an amazing growth in that area, a growth spurt in my neutrality. It is true that I have been bearish a lot of my tenure on YouTube, primarily because I learned to trade and I lived through a bear market before I was able to live through this bull market as an Elliott wave trader. I'm still relatively new to trading, guys. I've only been at the game for 4 years. Okay? So you got to understand that. But as far as Elliott's concerned, I'm really good at it because I know it, I understand it, it makes sense to me. I'm good at puzzles, I'm good at spatial organization, I'm good at discipline, I'm good at logic and seeing the relationships between things. I'm very good at all those things, and it makes me good at reading charts. Not everybody has the same ability to see it as I see it. And sometimes I'm like, well, what's so hard about it? I see it clear as day, and then you know, and others can't see it because their brains aren't wired that way. And Elliott wave trading isn't for everybody. It's not. But you can give it a go. And your study is definitely worth your study. It's definitely worth your study. Cryptoholics Anonymous. Good question. Is it possible we just had wave 1? Well, I mean, again, I have to suspend the two problems of the prior wave. But yes, it's possible. But do you understand the implications of that wave? The implications of what you're saying? Okay? If we've finished wave 1 and now we're in wave 2, you're looking for a third wave down to here. We're talking a wave that's death to crypto here. We're talking a 5-wave move here that comes very deep. That's what you're talking about. If you're thinking that this was wave 1 of C, that this is A, B, C. We're talking way deep. And I just don't think that that's the case. Guys, let me take a break here just for a second. I want to look at the micro chart and see what this wave is doing, because we're getting a pullback here. And I want to see what kind of wave we're getting on the small time frame. So what I'm going to do now is look at the nature of this wave and try to analyze what kind of wave. This looks like a 3-wave move. Okay? It's got a trend here. It's moving to the upside. I've got higher time frame trends here on the 5 minute. It's a very nice little trending wave there. I'm going to wait and see if I get a break of that trend to the downside. It's going to let me know when this corrective wave might be finished. Because if this is going up on the RSI in the 5 minute and in the process creating what we call a hidden bearish divergence, where the RSI makes it almost all the way up to the previous peak, but price is unable to get to the previous peak, that's what we call a hidden bearish divergence. And that's letting us know that we're going to get another wave to the downside. It looks like this wave began with a 1-2, or this is a 1-2, 1-2. This could be a 3 and a 4. We'd get another 3, 4. Or 4, 5, I should say. A 4, 5, 4, 5 to finish it. That's a possibility. Just an idea. We can apply Elliott wave principles on all time frames. $10.99 to answer your question. Absolutely. What Jerome Powell will say and what the Fed will say will be indeed the excuse The market it'll be the excuse of the market. The news headlines on CNN or Fox or whatever you watch is, well, the markets were down again today on news of Fed raising rates and tapering on the announcement today. The markets were scared and sold off based on that. And that's true. I mean, that's going to be the excuse. But let me just tell you, I think Brad Litwin was talking about it. They already signaled to us. The last month FOMC meeting was the signal to all the major market players. It was the signal that they need to be selling their positions. They need to be systematically getting into a different asset other than the markets because of tapering and the policies are going to make the dollar stronger. So that Fed announcement is a signal to the big boys on what they're doing. And guys, you have to pay attention to the signals. And so what they say this week is very, very, very important. Jose, we just talked about that. Absolutely. But that you're talking about, when you talk about one of C, you're talking about a move that is bringing you down. I mean, down here to 20K or lower. If this is the wave one, because of how big it is. Okay. So I doubt that highly. DXY has a lot of room to go up, Mr. Hubris. Lots of room to go up. I've been calling for 98 for quite a while. I was calling for 96 to 97, but looking at the wave structure now, there's room for 98 or so. Plenty of room in that wave structure. We're looking at this. Okay. We've reached the 1618. Okay, that's a key fib level. But we have clear structure that it's reaching what you guys call resistance, right? It's reaching an area of resistance, but this is also an area of what we would call liquidity. Most likely we're going to come and take out these areas of liquidity. I would not be surprised to see the dollar hit 99 or even 100 for an extended flat wave. But to be a little bit more realistic, something like this. About 98. Maybe a little more realistic target for now. And then we'll see how the wave is shaping up. But I'm looking for that kind of a spike in the dollar. But here's what I'm seeing after that. To go to the 3-day chart, let me explain how I'm seeing these waves, okay? Now, remember how we talked about at the beginning? This looks like an ABC to me. What followed that finished correction? We put the fibs on that correction. It came right to the 1414, 1618 area, right where we expect it to come. Okay? But what followed that? We got a 5-wave impulse off the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we got one of the ugliest corrective waves I've ever seen. But this is a corrective wave. See how choppy it is? Very similar to the correction we just got in Bitcoin. We got a corrective wave. Now the question is, what is this wave? Is that an impulse or a correction? Now, here's something interesting, guys. Here's something very interesting. I just saw it for the first time. If this is a corrective wave and it's 3 waves right here, boom, 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 3 waves. Now, I know that's challenging, but it looks more like 5 waves. But let's just suspend disbelief and call it 3 waves for now. And this is 3 waves. We could have 3, 3, and then a 5 on our hands, a flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we crash. And we got 5, 3. Can't break the top. And then we go down impulsively next year. So as the dollar rises like this, the markets crash. That is very plausible. If you look on the 3-day chart here, we have a wedge working in the RSI. Okay, but there's room to go up. On the 3-day, if this bounces to the upside, it could go up and then bounce back down and go up again, and that could do that trick right there until finally it falls down. Down we go. Or this falling out of the wedge is wave 4. Then we get a retest of it, creating divergence. And then down we go. That makes more sense. Hey, Matt. Boom, it is. So that's my view of DXY. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. But it's looking pretty bullish for now. I see one more hit to the high. Go in the weekly chart. Kimosabi, you're talking about the triangle idea on the weekly. Are you talking about this triangle? See you later, Crypto Fitter. I'm not a fan of that because of the wave structure. I see that as 5 waves. So I'm not a fan of the triangle, personally. Okay. All right, back to Bitcoin. Let's do some micro analysis. And then I'm going to call it a night, guys. I am not going to do chart requests tonight. Please forgive me. I'll go over a couple of the alts, but I think for tonight, we've been 2 hours almost, and it's been a great session. I just don't think I have it in me to do a bunch of be everybody's chart boy. I've been looking at charts all weekend. I haven't had a break at all. I'm almost 24/7. I've been looking at charts, and that's part of my depression. I'm just tired. I don't want to look at any charts anymore. I get exhausted. I wish I could just step away for a little while. And so when you're running a Discord, it's hard to do that. But anyway, a lot of expectations of a lot of people. And the more people that come in the group, the more expectations there are. So that's challenging. So let's look at the micro here and talk about what could happen. I've got a complex idea right here where this is super complex here, okay? Please understand. That we're getting some kind of we're gonna call this a 3-wave move. Now, there's lots of problems with this. There's no doubt about it. This could continue coming down to this range here. But watch out for this. Watch out for this as a A, a B, and a C. Now that's kind of complex. But that's the kind of thing that can happen here. And watch how this plays right with what might happen on the 15th. Because this comes down bearishly, but reverses and takes out the liquidity above this range here, retests the top of this, gets everybody bullish, we get bearish news out of it, and then we tank. Boom. And the entire structure becomes a big flat. Where you have a A, a B, and a C. And we get this downward move that takes to the end of the year, or I don't know, till Christmas or something like that. All right. So this is a possibility here. That this comes down, and then we get a big move to the upside again. 3 waves, 5 waves. And then down we go. And there's going to be a lot of chopping here. A lot of messing guys up. But what that would be is the idea that I shared earlier. Ultimately, that this was the A wave, and then all that right there is the B wave. And we eventually get a C wave. Christmas surprise. Gives everybody a last chance to sell at all-time highs or close to it. And then down we come again. That's my favorite idea. Those are the ideas that I've been seeing. And so on the micro, guys, if you need help navigating this, that's what the Discord is for. We're looking for this to come down. Okay, we're looking for this. This may give us some kind of wave. You see that wave right there? Oh, sorry. See this wave right here? Adrian, it's possible they could be dovish, but they would have to completely do a 180 from the way they've been talking. So they'd have to change completely. But yeah, so it's anybody's speculation as to what they're going to say. Anyway, looking for this to finish coming down with a possibility of it going back up, taking out these highs again. Now, does it have to do that? I don't think it has to do that. If we look at this wave like a flat, which I don't like this, but if we say, yeah, that was a flat, then we might just be coming down now. But do you see all this oversold look here? That oversold with hidden bull divergence here, that's powerful to me. It's letting me know we're probably going to maybe get divergence here and then a move up. But Anyway, that's pretty powerful to me. But nevertheless, this could come down in 5 waves. We get a 3-wave pullback, and that 3-wave pullback could satisfy the bullish divergence we're seeing, and then another wave to the downside. That's another way it could play. Either way, this wave comes down, finishes a 5-wave move right here. This finishes 5 waves. Okay? And then once it's finished 5 waves, all right, it's going to go up either to break the highs in 5 waves, or it's going to go up slower and correctively in 3 waves with another wave to the downside. And we had 3 waves there. We had 3 waves here. And then we would have 3 waves here. And that would finish the correction. And then up we go. All right. We're going to be tracking this in our Discord. Trying to track that wave. If you need help, that's what the Discord's for. If you want some learn about all the stuff we talked about tonight, that's what the Discord's for. Go jump on my Patreon page. There's a link in the description. Become a member, become a Patreon supporter at Tier 1 or Tier 2. I would recommend either Tier 1 or Tier 2 if you're just getting started. Tier 1 is enough. It's all you need. And then come on in. If you want the wave setups and the trade setups, and you know how to trade, but you just want some Elliott wave setups, then that's Tier 2. But if you don't know how to trade and you need to learn risk management and proper psychology and learn the basics of Elliott wave, that's what Tier 1 is for. Okay? But if you already know how to trade, you got good risk management, you got good psychology, you get everything in Tier 1, plus you get setups and trade help. Okay? And that's what Tier 2 is for. So we're all about education. And then we're all about teaching good risk management and good trading styles and as we trade these things. Guys, it's been great to be with y'all. I'm going to call that a night. Thanks for stopping by. I guess the only thing I haven't done, and I don't know that I have it in me, is correlation between the ETH chart. Why don't you look at the Ethereum chart and see if you can come up with a correlating wave structure that matches what we just drew, and see if you can come up with a bias there. It's been good to be with you. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to hit the like button and share the video with your friends and your trading groups. Hopefully this was a good one. I look back on this one and I really like the content that I gave you. If you like the content, let me know in the comments as well. Don't forget to hit the like button and all that jazz. Thanks so much. We'll see you guys later, okay?